Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to the first session of the college beginning today on 1st of September. Now I request our head of the department, Dr. G.H. Kulkarni sir, to speak few words uh, to address to the students.
Okay, good morning to one and all. It is a great pleasure for me to welcome you to all for a new academic year. From the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, I wholeheartedly welcome you for the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I assure you we will support you on your way to in best possible way in this difficult time. Your academic success and well-being is important to us as it is to you also. Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering emphasis on innovative in teaching and learning, and at the same time, it is serving for societal importance. With the two important platforms in the department, one is the Tesla, the other one is Institute of Engineers India student chapter. You have got the only chapter in our college that is in electrical and electronics engineering. You have got two different platforms to exhibit your talents and your extracurricular activity under these two banners. I have never tried that before. There is a quote from P.P. Longstick. He is quoting, I have never tried that before, so I should definitely be able to do it with a strong will and determination. That is, in this difficult time, you don't have one-to-one contact. Okay, you have got a very difficult time. With a strong will and a determination, we can achieve our goal. So, my advice to you is to bring out your willpower, to ambitious in your studies, and engaged in academic activities. Take part in the departmental activities that we are conducting here afterwards. If it is one-to-one, that is in-campus classes, it is well and good. We hope for the best as early as possible. At the same time, for this particular month of the September, then we are we were planned some of the activities on the online only. That is introduction of you, welcoming you all for the department with online program. We are checking out the program by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We'll let you know the details of that. And this particular challenging time, what we are focusing cannot be solved by any one of us. Okay, everyone you are combinedly you have to make effort towards the best being of the society. To seek knowledge is a lifelong pursuit in which it is important to stay curious, reflective, and open-minded in your studies, and be frank to discuss with your faculty members. We have got a bunch of experienced, qualified faculty members in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. You have got very good infrastructure in the form of the laboratory, not only up to your the curriculum, beyond the curriculum, you have got a research laboratory in our department, that is in the form of VG is sanctioned by Government of Karnataka. Then it is worth of 25 lakhs rupees were invested on that one. You have to make use of all these facilities, and you can make use of the experienced faculty, their knowledge, and we extract best out of it and do well in your the studies. Once again, I wholeheartedly welcome you to the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Wishing you the best of year ahead. Hope for meet you personally as soon as possible. Over to Nagaraj sir.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable address to the students, sir. Now I request Dr. Devraj Sarkar to speak few words to our students.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Devraj Sarkar. Uh, I'll be your I'm the class teacher of third sem. That is you. So I welcome you all to this to our department. Remember that this this subject is very interesting, and it is up to you to make this up to you to understand this subject and make it a part of you. Okay, because these subjects it's based on logic, it's based on mathematics. So it is not that it is some vague thing. It's a very strong and solid subject. So if you find interest in that, you will find there are lot many futures from this subject, starting from artificial intelligence to machine learning and whatever high falutant word you have heard. All from this subject. So I will ask all of you to take interest in the subject, go through the basic things, and from the very beginning, ask questions. That is what we want. That why, sir, why is this happening? Why this do not happen? So more questions you ask, the better it is for you to understand, and that will help you in the upcoming coming semesters. Okay. uh, I don't know what is the concept you have for the electrical engineering. Some might think it is a difficult subject. So I can assure you it is not that difficult, but you have to keep in mind that you need to understand the very basic, and we are going to help you out in the your entire path of getting your BTech degree. Okay, or B. So from my side, I welcome you all. Uh, Give it your best, and all the best. Thank you so much.
Nagaraj sir. Professor Nagaraj.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
You continue.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Oh.
Students are informed to wait here. I'll be giving the presentation that is the introductory session to analog electronic circuits today.
Before starting the Professor Nagaraj sir, just I will ask you to one by one, you can show your the faces. Come online, I'll call roll number 1. You already know your roll number. Just you introduce yourself. Roll number 1 is present.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
My
Abhay
name is
Joshi.
Abhay Joshi, sir.
Yes. Okay, fine. You are from which place?
Jamkhand, sir.
Jamkhandi. Okay. Okay. Where are you now?
Here only, sir, Jamkhand.
In Jamkhandi only.
Yes, sir.
Next, you unmute. Okay. Roll number 2. Roll number 2. Roll number 2. Next 3. Roll number 3. Roll number 3. 4. I'll call Ankit Hattiholi is online. Ankita, sorry. Ankita Hattiholi. Unmute your audio and video both and you introduce yourself. Ankita. BK Tejas. BK Tejas. Chandu Pattar. Chandru Pattar. Chandru Pattar. Jannavi. Unmute your video and audio both from Google Meet app. Who are online, just you have to come on the line. Just.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Myself, Janvi, sir. I'm from Bailong.
You are from Bailongal. Okay, fine. You are in Bailongal only now, right now. Manjunath. Manjunath Melligiri. Manjunath Melligiri. Unmute your video and audio. Manjunath. Mohammed Mazhar. Mohammed.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
My name is Mohammed Mazhar. I'm from Belgaum.
You are from Belgaum. Okay, fine.
Sir,
Very good.
Manjunath Melligiri.
Prajwal Gowda. Prajwal Gowda.
Sir,
Prajwal Gowda.
sir,
Yes, Manjunath.
sir. Good morning, sir. Manjunath Melligiri
Good morning. Good morning.
from Bijapur, sir.
Bijapur. Okay. Very good. Chandru Pattar. Chandru Pattar. Mahesh Vadiyar. Mahesh Vadiyar.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Madhu Vadiyar.
Unmute your video also. Just you show your face. Odier. Rajat Gowda.
Good morning.
Rajat.
Good morning.
Good morning. Prajwal Gowda.
Good morning, sir.
Just unmute
Sir.
your camera. You switch on your camera. Yes.
Good
Very
morning,
good.
sir.
Good morning. Good
I am from
morning. Very
Bailangal,
good
sir.
morning. You are from
I am
which
from
place?
Bailangal, sir. Bailangal,
Very
sir.
good. Okay. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Rohan. Rohan Rocky. Yes.
Myself, Ron, sir. I am from Mudar.
You are from Mudol. Okay. Very good. Okay. Ramesh.
Myself, Ramesh sir. I am from Bijapur.
Bijapur. Very good. Okay. Sagar. Sagar.
Sir, Sagar
Yes.
Sagar Talkar, sir, from Bagalkot.
From Bagalkot. Very good. Rutvik.
Sir, my name is Ritwik, sir. I am from Dandeli.
You are from Tandeli. Very good.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sadasiv. Yes, Sadasiv. Sadasiv. Samir Khazi.
Good morning,
Samir?
sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes. Good morning. Good
My
morning,
name is-
Samir.
My name is Samir Khazi. I am from Jamkhandi.
You are from Jamkhandi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Sankalp.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I am Sankalp from Belgaum, sir.
You are from Belgaum. Very good.
Yes.
Sanjay. Sanket.
Sir, myself Sanket and I am from Kittur.
Okay, fine. Siraj. Ali. Siraj Ali. Sharada. Shraddha. Yes, Shraddha. Shraddha, introduce yourself. Unmute your sound. Unmute and talk. Kirti. Yes, Kirti, please.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
sir. My name is Kirti.
You are from which place?
I'm from Belgaum, sir.
You are native of Belgaum.
Belgaum, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Surya Banu.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm Surya Banu Kurundawar from Belgaum, sir.
From Belgaum. Okay, fine. Vivek. Yes, Vivek.
I am Vivek Goni from Athni, sir.
You are from which place?
Athni, sir.
Talk loudly.
Athni, sir.
Athani, okay, fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anybody is left out? Just you have to come on this one. Anybody is left out?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes, please.
Sir, myself Siraj. Sir, myself
Siraj,
Siraj
okay.
from Bijapur.
Bijapur. Okay, fine, Siraj. Okay. Professor Nagaraj, sir, you are ready? Professor Nagaraj,
Yes, sir. I'm ready here, sir.
you are ready. Okay. Just you have to take over this one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Professor
Thank you very
Nagaraj
much.
will handle your one of the subject, that is analog electronics. Just today you give the introduction part. First few classes were going very slow. Then you can ask the questions as and when if you have got any doubts immediately. Okay. We'll try to give a best out of us from a different mode of teaching learning process, either in the form of the video lecture you are uploading, or the live classes you are taking, or we are making a discussion. We are finding out some of the quizzes we are conducting in between. Okay. We'll make it interest so that it should reach to the students. That is main motto of us is it has to reach to you people so that you can better understand the subject in this difficult time. Okay. Hand over to the Nagaraj, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Screen is visible to all? Screen is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, students. I am Professor N.R. Aiholli. I will be teaching the subject analog electronic circuits for you all for this semester. So, the analog electronic circuits, its subject code is 18EE. Analog electronic circuits, its subject code is 18EE 34, right? Before going into the details of the subject, first let me highlight what is analog electronics, right? So analog electronics is nothing but which deals with the analog signal. Which deals with the analog signal, that is, it is a continuous signal, is it not? If you compare it with the digital signal, it is binary, right? Where we deal with the zeros and ones. This you have studied in your first year level, is it not? So analog signal is continuous in nature, whereas digital signal is discrete. It deals with only zeros and ones. The signal is in the form of zeros and ones, either low or high. Whereas in analog signal, we have a continuous values, is it not? So that is how it is different from the analog electronics with the digital electronics, or the analog signal with the digital signal. So in this subject, we will be studying the various topics related to analog electronic circuits. We will be studying the circuits which deal with the analog signal. You are applying the input analog signal, and the output is also in the form of the analog signal. Before we go into the details of the subject, we have to understand what is semiconductor materials, because it's a basic fundamental block of the analog electronics. All the components, they are manufactured using the semiconductor materials. So you have to understand this basic component, this basic topic, that is semiconductor materials. Construction of electronic devices or integrated circuits is done using the semiconductor material. So if you take any electronic device or integrated circuit is IC, is it not? Integrated circuit is IC, that is in which we have all the components such as diodes, resistors, transistors, capacitors, all are manufactured in a small chip, which is called as the integrated circuit. Okay. In the lab, you'll be conducting various experiments here, where you'll be going through the various chips, that is, which you'll be using here in your higher semesters. Okay. So integrated circuit is done using the semiconductor material. Semiconductors are special class of elements. So what are the semiconductors? So semiconductors are special class of elements having conductivity between that of conductor and insulator. If you consider conductor is having high conductivity, where the conductivity is very high, whereas insulator conductivity is very less or almost no conductivity, whereas the conductivity of the semiconductor is in between that of the conductor and the insulator. Semiconductor materials are of two types, single crystal and compound type. Okay. Semiconductor materials are of two types, single crystal and compound type. Now, what are the single crystal and compound type of semiconductors? Single crystal semiconductors, they have a repetitive structure. So in single crystal semiconductor, the structure is repetitive. If we consider the examples of germanium and silicon, later I will be explaining the figure. In the figure, I will be showing you how one silicon atom binds with the adjacent or adjoining silicon atom. So it's a repetitive structure. In compound semiconductors, there are two or more semiconductor materials of different atomic structures. So such type of semiconductors are called as compound semiconductors. So in compound semiconductors, examples are gallium arsenide, cadmium sulfide, gallium nitride, gallium arsenide phosphide, right, and others. So in this, the semiconductor material is composed of two semiconductors materials of different atomic structures. Initially, diode was discovered in the year 1939. Right? You may be familiar with this. Diode was discovered in the year 1939 and transistor came into existence in the year 1947. Fine. So in the construction of these diodes and transistors, germanium was used initially. Initially, germanium was used in the construction of diodes and transistors because it was easily available and found in larger quantities. And it was also possible to refine it or purify it to higher levels of purity. Therefore, as it was available in abundance, germanium was used as the material for the construction of diode and transistors. But these diodes and transistors constructed using germanium had low reliability. Low reliability in the sense, if the temperature changed, then the characteristics of these diodes and transistors also changed. So we know that if the characteristics of diodes and transistors change, then the output will change. So we will not get the correct output, right? So it results in all these types of losses. So because of this, it is not reliable to use the germanium material. That's what the scientists came to know when they initially used the germanium material. Then later they slowly shifted to silicon material. So this silicon material had improved temperature sensitivity. That is, as the temperature changed, the change in the characteristics of silicon material was very less. Right? So therefore, they thought of using silicon rather than using the germanium. Okay. Then later, one more semiconducting material came into existence, which is gallium arsenide. So using this gallium arsenide material, transistor was developed in the year 1970. The year 1970, gallium arsenide transistor was first developed. This gallium arsenide transistor has higher speed of operation. That is, its speed of operation is 5 times higher than that of the silicon semiconducting material. Gallium arsenide was used as a base material in the very large integrated circuit designs. So you might have heard of very large scale integrated designs, VLSI designs. So in these VLSI designs, gallium arsenide was used as the base material for the construction of very large scale integrated circuit design chips. Next, we will go through what is covalent bonding and what are intrinsic materials. So if you want to know why silicon, germanium and gallium arsenide are the semiconductors of choice, right? Why they are choosy. So why we have to use only silicon material, why we have to use only germanium, or why we have to use only gallium arsenide. So it depends on their properties or it depends on their atomic structure. That is, we have to know how the atoms are bound to form a crystalline structure in these semiconducting materials. Okay. Every atom is composed of three particles, as we are very much familiar, that is electron, proton, and neutron. In the nucleus, which is a central part of the atom, there are protons and neutrons, and surrounding this nucleus, there are electrons. And these electrons, they rotate in a fixed orbits around the nucleus. So they are in the orbits, or they are available in a shell surrounding the nucleus. So in this figure, I have shown silicon, germanium, gallium, and arsenic. Right? What we understand from this figure is, in the silicon, there are 14 electrons. 14 electrons present in the silicon material, right? And in the outermost shell, there are 4 valence electrons, or there are 4 electrons in the outermost shell, in the outermost orbit. Similarly, in the germanium, there are 33 electrons, right? In the innermost shell, there are 2 electrons, and in the first shell, there are, say, around 6 to 8 electrons, right? And in the outermost shell, there are only 4 electrons in germanium. Similarly, in gallium also, we have various shells, various orbits in which there are different number of electrons, and in the outermost orbit, there are 3 electrons. In the arsenic, there are again 5 electrons present in the outermost shell. So these electrons which are present in the outermost shell, they are called as valence electrons. The electrons present in the outermost shell are called as valence electrons. You can see in this figure, students, that the silicon atom are bound to neighboring silicon atom, right? Silicon atoms are bound to neighboring silicon atom. That is, they are bound with the similar type of atoms, right? So here, this is called as covalent bonding. In the covalent bonding, the sharing of electrons takes place with the similar atoms, right? In this particular figure, in this particular that is single crystal type of semiconductor, only silicon is employed, where the covalent bonding, sharing of electron is taking place between 2 identical atoms, that is 2 similar silicon atoms. So if you see the central silicon atom, the valence electrons are shared with 4 different silicon atoms. The left electron is shared with the left silicon atom, the right one is shared with the right silicon atom, the upper one is shared with the upper one, and the bottom electron is shared with the bottom silicon atom. So like this, the central nucleus silicon atom is shared with the 4 different silicon atoms. Here you can see covalent bonding of gallium arsenic crystal. So in this covalent bonding, there are 2 atoms, that is, one is gallium and another one is arsenic. Gallium has 3 valence electrons, whereas arsenic has 5 valence electrons. So the bonding is taking place in this particular fashion. So we can observe here how the bonding is taking place between 3 valence electrons of gallium and 5 valence electrons of arsenic. Right? Here the difference between the previous and this figure is, the previous one, as we can see in this figure, the silicon is bonded with the neighboring silicon atom, right? But here the gallium is bonded with the arsenic, is it not? So there are 2 different atoms here in this covalent bond sharing of gallium arsenic crystal. Covalent bonding and intrinsic materials. Silicon has 14 electrons, germanium has 32 electrons, gallium has 31 electrons, and arsenic has 33 orbiting electrons. For germanium and silicon, there are 4 electrons in outermost shell, and these electrons which are present in the outermost shell are called as valence electrons, right? Gallium has 3 valence electrons, therefore it is called as trivalent. Arsenic has 5 valence electrons, it is called as pentavalent. If there are 4 valence electrons, it is called as tetravalent. The energy required to remove any one of the valence electrons is lower than that required for any other electron in the structure. The energy that is required to remove, or the potential that is required to remove the valence electrons, is less as compared to the energy required to remove any other electron in the structure. Right? For example, if the energy required to remove the valence electron is, say, 0.12 microjoules, then the energy required to remove other electron in the structure maybe, say, 0.15 joules or 0.78 joules like that. So comparatively it is less. In pure silicon or germanium crystal, 4 valence electrons of one atom form a bonding arrangement with 4 adjoining atoms. That's what I told in the first figure that we saw. Silicon or germanium crystal, there are 4 valence electrons of one atom forming a bonding arrangement with 4 adjoining atoms. So this bonding of atoms due to sharing of electrons is called covalent bonding. In gallium arsenide, there is sharing between 2 different atoms that we saw in the second figure. So valence electrons absorb kinetic energy to break the covalent bond. So these valence electrons, they absorb some energy, right? They break the covalent bond because of the higher energy absorbed by these valence electrons. So when these valence electrons absorb the kinetic energy and they get liberated from the atom, they are called as free electrons. So the term free is applied to any electron that has separated from the fixed lattice structure. Fine, students? I hope everybody are understanding here. Yes? Next, what is relative mobility? Relative mobility is the ability of free carriers to move throughout the material. So the capacity or the ability of the carriers to move throughout the material is called as relative mobility. Free carriers in gallium arsenide have more than 5 times the mobility of free carriers in silicon. So if we compare gallium arsenic with silicon, gallium arsenic has 5 times the mobility as compared to the mobility of silicon. If you add 1 part of impurity per million part, then this changes the property of the material from less conducting material to very good conducting material. So if you are adding just 1 part of impurity, right, that will change the conductivity of the material to a very high level. The materials become highly conductive in nature. So this ability to change the characteristics of the material by this process is called as doping. So what is doping? Ability to change the characteristics of the material through this process is called as doping. Fine. Then what is the difference between conductors and semiconductors? For conductors, number of carriers do not increase significantly as heat increases. This is compared to the temperature that we are applying to the conductors. So when we apply certain temperature to the conductors, right, the number of carrier increase in conductors is less. So such materials are said to have positive temperature coefficient. For semiconductors, the number of free carriers increases as temperature rises. In semiconductors, the number of free carrier increases more as compared to the number of free carriers increase in conductors whenever there is rise in temperature. Semiconductors have negative temperature coefficient. So conductors have positive temperature coefficient, whereas semiconductors have negative temperature coefficient. What are energy levels? There are specific energy levels associated with each shell. So every shell, every orbit has certain energy level, right? And that energy level associated with every orbit or every shell is called as specific energy level or their particular energy levels. The far away the electron is from the nucleus, higher is its energy state. So more farther is the electron from the nucleus, higher is its energy state. Any electron that leaves the parent atom has higher energy state than any electron in the atomic structure. So if an electron is leaving its parent atom, right, by absorbing certain energy, so as it has absorbed certain energy, its energy level will be higher as compared to any other electron in the atomic structure, is it not? Between the conduction band and valence band, there is an energy gap that the electron in the valence band must overcome to become free carrier. So there are different bands here. One is called the conduction band, another one is the valence band. If the carrier has to move from valence band, if the electron has to move from valence band to conduction band, then it has to overcome the energy gap between the conduction band and the valence band. Then only it will become the free carrier. Right, students? So in this figure, you can see here, I have shown conduction band and valence band for germanium, silicon, gallium arsenide semiconductors. The energy gap for germanium is 0.67, whereas for silicon it is 1.1 electron volts. And for gallium arsenic it is 1.43 electron volts. Right? So what we can come to know here, as the energy gap of silicon is more than the energy gap of germanium, right? So the energy required by the electron to move from valence band to conduction band is more, right? It has to overcome more energy. The electron in the silicon semiconducting material, if it wants to move from valence band to conduction band, it has to absorb more energy. It has to overcome larger energy as compared to the electron in the, that is, germanium semiconductor material, right? Germanium has smallest gap and gallium arsenide has the largest gap. This means what this indicates? This indicates that electron in the valence band of silicon must absorb more energy than one in the valence band of germanium to become a free carrier. Fine. As temperature increases, number of electrons that can pick up thermal energy and enter the conduction band will also increase. Okay. So the temperature increases, the number of electrons that picks up this thermal energy and enters into the conduction band from the valence band will also increase. That's all, students, for today's class. Thank you. So if there are any questions from the students, so you are welcome to ask the questions so that I'll be able to answer to your questions. You can unmute your audio and then ask the questions. Yes, please. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience?
Students, do you have any questions? I hope from the audience side there is no questions. Let's stop the presentation.
Okay. Fine, students. I hope everybody have understood the session, right? Still, in the next session, if you have any questions, just go through whatever is being told in today's class, right? Just go through that, and if you have any questions, you can come back in the next class and ask the questions. That's all for today's session, students. Thank you.